Hello, my name is Mandy. I am with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today's class is What's New with Command. This is where we review KW's most recent updates in Command. Now, there haven't been a lot lately, so we're going to actually review the last for the last quarter that we've had. We'll go over and hit some highlights. I'll bounce around Command and show you a few things. If you're here with me live and you have any questions or comments, you can definitely drop them in the chat and I'll help get those answered for you either in real time or I'll stay a couple of minutes after class and help get them answered. And if you're watching this back on a recording, you can always reach out to us via email, and that email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we'll be happy to help. All right. So for today's class, let's start with one of the first updates in the command contacts area. The contacts live right over here on the far left-hand menu, little person in a square. If you're not super familiar with the icons in command just yet, you can always click the red square at the top and it will pop the names out for you. You can click it again to hide them if you want. But right here in contacts, the last couple of months, this really has gotten a little bit of an overhaul. It does look more like the tasks tab, if you're familiar with that. Also, the opportunities tab got a little bit of an update to look similar as well, where it has the alternating colors between gray and white to help distinguish between each row, as well as the way that you can organize the way that you view them. So let me just show you really quick. I don't know if many of you were with KW before or have been for just a little while. You used to be able to click on a contact and a hidden menu would appear right in this area, and it would be called your bulk action menu. That's how you could like add tags to more than one contact at a time, or maybe add an activity, export, things like that. Now, when you come and select one contact or more, or you can select all right here, you'll notice the menu options are actually down here at the bottom now. So over here on the right, they show the most popular or most used options first. And then you do have another more options menu right here that has the rest of those options that it previously had before. So instead of being on top of the contacts, it's down here at the bottom, as well as, let me unselect these, the colors that I mentioned to help distinguish between the rows. And then over here on the right, you'll now see an option to adjust the columns for what you see. It used to be you could go to a tile view versus a table view, things like that. But now they have actually streamlined this a little bit better as well for the columns. You would simply just come and toggle on or off the specific columns that you do or do not want to see. And once you come through here, you'll notice those columns were updating as I toggled them on and off. And once you've chosen the ones that you do want to see, you can click away from the menu. And then these columns can now be slid, like I was going to say slidden. I don't think that's a word. You can slide them from left to right, wherever you want them to be. These are using the six dots right here in the column header. You can see it just above my mouse. When the cursor turns into a hand, click and hold and just drag them over. So you can sit here and customize your view that way as well. Okay. You still have the sort and filter options here. You still have your smart views. If you haven't jumped into our database overview class yet, highly recommend starting with that next. It is one of the basic classes, but it really helps you get your contacts prepped and ready for marketing. So it goes into further ways to edit this view and save it to make it easier on yourself. So definitely check that out. But that's one of the things that has been updated here, just the sleek look to the contacts tab. Next is one of the filters that's available now. I'm going to go ahead and clear these filters here. And let me get to my class demo view just a second. There we go. And so from right here on the class demo view, we do have a filter now available. So this is my view just to show our sample contacts. You cannot have any filters or other filters set. That's fine. I just wanted to get to this view to show you. You can come here and use your filters. And down at the bottom, let me minimize these so we can get to the very last one down here. You now have a primary email alert filter. When I expand this, it gives you three options. The first option is no alert. That means it's a contact that has not unsubscribed to any of your emails. Or it is someone that has not had an undeliverable email sent to their email addresses, meaning the email possibly is invalid, okay, or bouncing back for some reason. The next option, you can see undeliverable. Again, their email is invalid, or for some reason that email was not deliverable to them that you've sent through command to that contact. Or you can see the people that have actually unsubscribed. So this helps you keep track of in your contacts who has not received the emails or chosen not to receive emails. Or you can see the ones that have received them or choose to still see them so that maybe those are ones that you put a new tag on so that you can market to them moving forward. So again, you can go ahead and come in here and see which contacts this applies to. We'll go ahead and look at undeliverable. Didn't have any contacts in that particular view. I was hoping to be able to show you what it looks like when it is undeliverable to their email address. Go ahead and click apply and come back to our contacts here. You should see a tiny icon on their primary email when they are unsubscribed. Oh, you know what? I know I can show you guys. Hold on a second. Give me two shakes here. I can pull up a different account that I know will show you. Just a second. Let's try this little guy. Just give it a second to upload. Perfect. Okay. Right over here, right here at the end of the email addresses, can you see the little crosshatch X'd out? And if I hover over it, it actually tells me what the error is. It says undeliverable because these are fake contacts and they're fake emails, right? So you should be able, when you use that filter, to see undeliverable. So let's go to use our filter here. Minimize all the other ones so I can come down here, do undeliverable and apply. And now we can see the three here that have those X or cross out symbols showing you that it's the email that is not deliverable. And when you click into the contact as well, you'll see it right here beside the email address, and it will tell you undeliverable, email not valid. For more details, you can come over to the timeline in the contact and scroll down and actually see. Now, this person unsubscribed as well, and you can see that here. So they would actually come up in a possible other filter. But for the undeliverable part, you can see right here, it actually says the email address is not valid and shows as undelivered. Okay. All right. So we'll come back out to contacts here. Let me move back into our other account here briefly. Just a second. There we go. All right. And one other thing here while we are in contacts, I do want to show you the saved searches, which actually I'm going to pull our little guy back over and use this account for that. Different things, we use different demos and different accounts. So if you're wondering why I'm swapping back and forth, that's why I want to be able to show you this stuff. So right here in your contacts, you can create something called a saved search. Now, if you're not super familiar with what that is, let me show you first where it lives. When you click into your contact, over here on the far right-hand side, you can click on saved searches. And a saved search is where you come in and set up a specific type of criteria, like whatever this contact is looking for in a home. So 3 bed, 2 bath, 2 acres, a pond, whatever they're looking for, you can set up the criteria here and they will either receive the notifications by email if you choose that, or if they've created their own account on your KW consumer mobile app, or your KW agent website, the little login feature on the far right, the same login right there that they would create actually works on the KW consumer mobile app and your website, by the way. Just depends if they're on a laptop or desktop, so they would use your website. And if they're on a mobile device, they can sign into your app. So pretty much the same system. same login, but when you're creating the saved search, you can create it to where it would give them notifications on the app or the website so that they would get those in time, real notifications, however frequently that they would like them. Okay. The update is it used to be that the consumer had to have created their account on your consumer app or website first before you, the agent, come and create them a saved search. Okay. Now it is not required that the consumer creates an account on your app. Maybe they don't want to do that. Maybe they just want to receive email notifications, not app notifications. That is now possible. You would simply come in here and create a saved search. When you create it for them, this is what it would look like, kind of shows you what stats they've put in, the price range, things like that. But you will have the option to choose the frequency of the email and then save it. So it would appear right here for you, the agent, within command. But on the consumer side, they will get an email, and I'm going to pull a sample over here to show you. This email sample will look similar to this. It will say your agent's name created a saved search for you. And in the email, they would need to opt in to receive those updates. See, before when they logged in or created an account to your app, it had those little disclaimers that they had to agree to be contacted by you, the agent, and by KW. So if they choose not to sign up for the app, this is just the way that KW has chosen to get their opt-in, to get their approval of being able to send them email updates. So this person would receive this email and need to click that they want to receive email updates. You, the agent, within command, would see this saved search within the contacts profile, and you would see pending acceptance that you're waiting on them to accept it. This invite will last up to 30 days. If they don't answer it within 30 days, I'll show you what it looks like. It will show expired, and then you can choose to resend that email to them, asking for their permission to receive those email updates. Once they've approved it, it will look like this. It will show accepted, and that way you know that they are now receiving those email updates concerning their saved search. Okay. If you're here with me live again, you got any questions or any comments, definitely feel free to drop them in the chat. Be happy to get them answered for you either here in real time or I'll stay a couple of minutes and get them answered for you. All right, next, let's talk about some paid ads. So I'm going to come back over here to my other account. Here we go. So still in command, paid ads lives right here underneath this bullhorn. It's in campaigns, paid ads here, and quick start to jump back in to paid ads here. And so back here in paid ads, there is a way now that it will let you know your estimated results about how many leads you will get based on your budget and the duration that you have set for paid ads. Now, we have two other classes that really deep dive into this. One is called Paid Ads and Social Post Campaigns. I'll go through all the differences of the paid ads, show you how it's literally for anybody's budget. You don't have to break the bank to run ads and get leads or to direct traffic to your website or whatever your objective is. And then we have another class called Build Your Social Media. That's kind of a part one. We show you how to build out your social media and get your branding consistent across your social platforms, also to get them linked to command, and then also to cross-reference your website and your social media platforms to help increase your SEO. Once all that is set up, the part two class is the paid ads and social post campaigns. And that's where we deep dive into the the social post and the paid ads to show you that. So definitely check that out if you haven't come back here to get familiar with these items. But for today, I just want to show you the paid ad I'm just going to jump into the most common one that is used and show you where you can see the estimated results in a campaign now. I'm going to pull a new screen over because to get to this part, it does require that you filled out and built the paid ad already. And so I did that before class, and this is what it looks like. If I were to click into a paid ad to create it, you fill out your details on the left, and it shows you a preview over here on the right. Okay. As you're going down, I see those questions coming through. Keep coming with those. I'll make sure that I go through those with you. Okay. So over here on the left of this particular paid ad, there's just different fields. Again, you pick your listing. Um, this is a listing paid ad. They do have ones that aren't for a listing, that are maybe just like for an event or to look for sellers, things like that. But this particular one I grabbed is a listing paid ad. So you choose your listing and it helps populate all the information for you. You choose your targeting. There's two targeting options in this paid ad. There's other options depending on the type of ad you grab. Media, you set up your image or your video, maybe add a banner or a theme. Pick your media. Choose your text, whatever you want it to say. You even have AI in here to help write your content for you if you need it or want it. Post lead submission. Where are those leads landing once they click on your ad? Lead settings. This item we actually go over in another class called Command Automation and Lead Conversion. That's another class we teach to show you all the different automation options within Command to help leverage your time and effort better. Things that you can set up and let go in Command. So it will start organizing your contacts for you. It can start automatically sending emails, text messages, routing leads to different people in your team if you have a team, different things like that. And down here, compliance. Choose compliance if you need it. And we'll go ahead and choose proceed to last step. So we've essentially built the paid ad, and then it asks us about duration and budget. Duration, you set your calendar to when you want it to start and when you want it to end, and then your budget. You can use the slide ruler down here. And again, talking about being for everybody's budget. Look, we can spend 20 bucks and get 2 to 5 leads. Okay. So don't have to break the bank, but you can come in here, adjust your budget and your duration for about how many leads that you're looking to get. Now, it's really important. This is a very valuable new update because what if you are a solo agent and you're going to run an ad over the weekend? Are you going to be able to handle fielding this many leads? Honestly, right? So it is good to come in here and really use your time to choose a duration and a budget that's going to give you a return that you can still bring enough value and consistency to. Or maybe you're paired with somebody. Maybe you want to go in with them and run the paid ad together and split the leads. Whatever it is that you're choosing to do, this will give you an estimate of how much you can realistically expect from your paid ad once it starts running. Okay, pretty snazzy. All right, we're going to come back over to command. Let me read a couple of the questions here in the chat just to see. M. Haiti, you said, can I repeat the class names? Sure, absolutely. The first I mentioned was build your social media. Build your social media. I'm going to drop the links in the chat again. That YouTube link is the one in the middle. That's where you can go and use the magnifying glass to search through our classes. But build your social media is part one. The second class that you would want to do next is paid ads and social post campaigns. Paid ads and social post campaigns. Okay. All right. Erica, send postcards to a targeted area. Yeah, absolutely. So actually, that particular type of paid ad, excuse me, not paid ad, that particular type of campaign does live under the campaigns tab, but it's right here. It's direct mail. We do have a complete class on that. It's called Nurture Your Database Direct Mailers. And that goes through actually designing the postcards or using the templates that are already available within your command so that you don't have to design it on your own. Um, and then how to target either your database or a particular area to get those postcards mailed out. Okay. Oh, and the other class, Erica, it's command automation and lead conversion. We actually walk you through a mini, very simple, very basic mini little plan of how to build out your command so that any new lead that comes in, let's say it comes in the middle of the night or in the middle of one of your appointments or whatever, and then your command will automatically tag that contact so you'll know it's a new lead and also start them on a smart plan so that an automated email will immediately go out to that lead, even though you're busy and you haven't called them yet. It will immediately go out to that lead and be like an introduction email, like, "Hey, I'm so and so. I'm going to call you in a few minutes, so watch your phone. But in the meantime, here's an introduction, or here's free resources, or here's my app link so you can go ahead and get started searching." Whatever it is you want to do to come from contribution, because again, lead conversion, it's critical who reaches that lead first. So if you're having your system reach out in the middle of the night to reach that lead and get them started immediately, your chances of converting that lead into your own client greaten or get greater, right? They increase. So you're welcome. Absolutely. Oh, Anna, did I? Let me type in the names here that I've mentioned. Maybe that'll help. Build your social media and then paid ads and social post campaigns. And then we talked about command automation and lead conversion. I think at the very top, I actually mentioned database overview too. So there's that name too. Nurture your data. Thank you, Erica. Nurture your database direct mailers. There's that one. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys. Teamwork, right? All right. Let's go ahead and go back to the updates here within Command. But thank you guys for all the questions. Keep that coming. I'll dip back into the chat in just a few minutes. The next update is going to be under the websites tab over here in the far left. Last tab on the left. You'll notice this looks a little different. Actually, let me pull my other account over just a second so that we have a built out website I can show you. Dun, 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 there we go. Okay. So right here again, websites tab. You'll notice again, this looks a little bit different. Your marketing profile is the bank of information that goes out onto your website, onto your command marketing, and that used to live way over here underneath your command settings. But now your marketing profile is right here under your websites tab. So let's go visit that first and I'll show you where it is right here under manage settings. So essentially KW combined website settings and your marketing profile. Okay. Each tab over here on the left, you can click and see different pieces of information that would populate on your branding for command or also um, within your command marketing, your website, and then also your website settings. We have a tip video on our YouTube channel that walks you step by step by step for every single field that is on this marketing profile and these website settings. So definitely go check that out if you want to go through and update it or maybe know what every single field is about. Just a pro tip, if you're coming through this on your own and choosing any of the tabs on the left, just make sure that you are clicking save before you move on to the next tab. Okay, so you click on a tab on the left, make any changes, click save on the far right first before moving on to another tab. Okay. All right. Again, marketing profile, and there is a tech tip video on our YouTube channel that will walk you through. It's like a little 10-minute video that will walk you through how to do all of these fields. Okay. Next, I'm going to click back on the websites tab right here just to show you another feature of this new layout. And it's right over here to the right. Right now, you can actually click Browse KW Answers, and this is an article database that you can look up anything within KW Answers. So you can use the search bar here, or if you come down to the bottom, they have some notes or topics that you can choose. And then they also have promoted articles down here at the bottom. So we love being your first resource because a lot of times we can get you the answers or send you a tech tip video to show you how to do things. But you also have KW Answers right here at your fingertips, especially if it's like after hours or sometimes on the weekend and you need an answer. You can definitely come in here and try to find some things in the KW Answers. Okay. The next update that has been done back here in websites is right over here on the left. You'll notice it says Manage Website, has a box with an arrow. This actually will take you to your website. If you click that, it will open your KW agent or your KW team site in a new tab so you can see it here. And this C in a box, it just copies your URL. You'll notice a banner comes up on the far right letting you know you've copied your website address. And then you get to paste it, share it, put it in some command marketing, whatever it is that you want to do. If you are to click the Manage Your Website right here, it brings you to some very surface, basic level editing options for your website. If you want to dive deeper, get into some custom things, you can always come up here to the top right and still go into expert mode. But right here, we're going to have some basic editing options for your website. If you click on Homepage, one of the updates is there's now 3 different homepage options to choose from. So if you choose, let me show you where I went. So I clicked homepage on the left, and then right here for homepage layout, there's 3 different layouts that you can now choose for your KW agent or your team site. So we're going to go through those together. The first is search. This is pretty much what you're seeing on the right-hand side. You have the search bar at the top. It goes down into featured properties here. Then it goes into like testimonials, blogs, things like that. It's more geared towards helping a consumer search for a property than anything else. So that's why it's called the search homepage. Coming down to our next, this is Hero. Hero images, or excuse me, the Hero layout is more of you being the expert. I don't know why it's spinning so much. Let me see if it'll let us see it on the right-hand side here. Preview. There we go. Okay. So this particular hero layout, again, it helps you look like the expert in a particular area. Okay. Notice that search bar really isn't up here at the top anymore, and it just goes straight into stats about properties. Okay. Your business, how many families you've served, how many closed units you've had this year. Why are you the expert that they want to choose? Next, it actually goes into some highlighted links. These are all customizable. And then it gets into like featured properties, featured testimonials, and they can reach out to you. So notice like blogs are on this homepage and they don't have the option to search for properties really. I mean, it's featured properties, but you could literally set this up just to be your own listings if you wanted it to be. Um, but again, it's much more geared towards you being the hero. So it's called the hero layout. Down here at the bottom, you do have a brand option. We'll see if it'll open for me. There we go. So down here for the, well, that's not the brand option. Hold on, preview. There we go. So brand option, it's again just building trust. What is your brand? Explaining who you are to them. So not necessarily like the hero of like, hey, I have all these stats and businesses and track record to prove to you that I'm the expert in this area. The brand is more putting your brand out there, explaining who you are, pitching your values. And so you'll notice at the very top, instead of it being a search option, it's an about us so that they can find out more about you. As you come down, you do have those 3 dedicated links like you saw on the hero layout. And you do have the stats. It's just not the first thing that they're showing, right? Again, all of this is customizable. And then featured properties, featured testimonials, and the reach out to you or contact form. Okay. So you can choose any of these three. I'm going to go ahead and choose the search option and get it back to our standard here. And it's already set as our standard. Let me choose one that we don't have. I'm going to select it so that you can see, hopefully see, there we go, that you can apply the layout right here. So we'll go ahead and apply that layout um, and get an error. But it says page published successfully over here on the far right. It should take about 30 minutes or less, and you would see that actually change on your website. And so another option that you have over here is the design studio. Give me 1 second, guys. Just going to take a sip of water real quick. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So here in the design studio, you can see what you have or the theme, and you can preview a couple of other themes and choose things like color palette, font, style. So we'll just come over here and choose select theme. It gives you the color palettes up here at the top. They even have dark themes. If you would prefer to have a dark theme, like we can do mint dark, um, and come down, you can choose a different font. And you can choose what the buttons look like, whether they're pill, rounded, or square. We'll go ahead and do square and click Save Changes. At the top right, you'll want to go ahead and click Publish. Should get this banner saying that it was successfully done. And then you can view it in a browser. So we're going to go ahead and view in the browser. And this is a preview, but you'll notice up here at the top, maybe if it finishes loading, there we go. So we did by the numbers. So let's come down. Notice that our boxes are square, just like we chose. Our font is in more of the script view. There it goes. That was what I was looking for. See the mint green banner across the top. And so also when you hover over your menu at the top, it shows mint green now. Okay. And so you can preview that there if you want to see the changes that you've looked at. But there's lots of different options you can choose and customize here within the design studio just to add that extra edge to your particular brand. Okay. All right. We're going to X this out and come back to our websites tab here. I'm going to come back to our other command account. Again, still in the websites tab here. And last but not least, here to round out the end of our class, I want to show you the service areas that are available now within your command. You can come in and edit and add like up to 10 favorite locations for your service areas. And the reason that you can do this is KW made an update on kw.com where now if you come to find an agent, people can actually search by city, postal code, or name now. So there's a lot of different options. It's not just um, by the name. So we'll go here and just search by a city so that you can see that now they can look for agents in a particular area. Okay, that's why it's important to go ahead and set your service areas up within your command because then they will show on your agent profile here on KW. And that way you're easily found when someone's looking for a particular area. Okay. So let's go back to websites and look through this together. Give me just a second here to grab um there it is. Perfect. And so right here within your manage settings over here on the far right for your website, this is where your service areas are going to live over here on the left-hand side. And coming on down, this is what it looks like when you're very first, like initially claiming your service areas if you haven't done it yet. So you can claim your service areas and make it custom, or you can go ahead and just choose to inherit your market center service areas as well. It's whichever you prefer. And again, you can always come in and edit it depending on what you choose to do later. But right here, we'll go ahead and choose claim your service areas, and it gives you a map. Now we have, let me zoom out just a hair so you can see it all. There we go. You have some zoom in and zoom out options over here if you want to use those. Okay. You also can search a particular location, like we were saying, Helena, Montana. So we can go look over in Helen, Montana. There we go. And then you also have a draw option. So I'm zoomed out a little far. See how it's Xing it out? So we can zoom in to start drawing in a particular area. See if we can zoom in a little bit more and see some streets. There we go. Okay, so now I can start drawing an area. Maybe you like to stay on one particular side of a major interstate, or maybe it's a state line in your area and you're only licensed in that one state. So you can come in here and start using the drawing tool with your mouse and just draw a particular area in a different shape if you want. Okay, now if you serve multiple areas, you can choose to add an additional boundary. It will give you another map. And again, same setup options, zoom in, zoom out, search for a particular location, or you can start drawing on the map. Okay. You have an option to add up to 3 areas that you've drawn. Okay. And once you're done, just click Submit Boundary. This is going to work on populating the areas. Now, some of the areas I covered are in multiple states, Montana and Virginia. If this gives you the option to select only the state that you're licensed in. If you're licensed in both, great, choose both. But if you're only licensed, let's say in Montana, you can just choose that state and it will eliminate the service areas that fell within the other state. So we'll click confirm. And this is what it's going to look like. So over here on the left-hand side, it will show you the country, the state, also the counties, cities and towns that were within that drawn area, school district, school attendance zones that were covered in that area, neighborhoods, and postal codes. So you can see all the things that it captured within those drawn areas. And you do have X's here. If you want to remove some of them, you'll also see that option here in just a second as well. So let's come over and confirm. And now it shows you your service areas. You can add your favorite ones right here at the top. These will be highlighted on your About Me page on your KW agent or your KW team site, as well as on your KW.com profile. So they'll be highlighted bolder than the rest, or they'll be displayed on your About Me page versus all these little details that you see in gray. Those aren't posted anywhere. It would look like a mess. They're just on the back end so that if any consumer comes and searches for like this particular public school area, you would be one of the agents that populates for that. But to add them to actually show on your profile, you can put a little heart beside them. You can see the hearts here beside the cities, towns, school districts, neighborhoods. So we'll just go ahead and start choosing the hearts on the ones that we want to show as favorites. And you'll notice them populating up here in the favorites area. The one that's yellow that has a star, that's your numero uno. That's your number one favorite. It is highlighted bigger and bolder than your other options, but they will all still appear on your profile. Okay. You can even drag and drop these into a specific order to rank them from your favorite to least favorite. Okay. So you can also click on the X as well if you want to remove any of these particular items that you don't want. And when you're ready, just click Save. That sets your service areas here. And when you're ready and you've read this, go ahead and click Confirm. And it's just letting you know at any point you can come back over here on the far right and click edit to change these any way that you'd want to. Okay. And that brings us to the end of our class today for our new command, what's new in command updates. If you are here with me live, definitely drop any questions or comments you have in the chat. I'll be happy to get those answered for you by staying a couple of minutes. If you're watching this back on recording and you have any questions or any issues at all with your KW platforms, you can always reach out to us via email. And that email address is support@scottleroymarketing.com. And we'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.